channel. So it's the same day. I'm doing some bulk filming, but I'm freezing, so I put a jumper on. But I'm wearing the same makeup as obviously the previous day. I'm going to be going through all of the makeup that I either bought or received as gifts or like PR this year, and I'm going to talk about them. It's going to be like a little bit of a speed review. I have 3 different sections. No, sorry. No, 4 different sections. I've got would not recommend, I've got it's okay, I've got I'm still testing this, I'm not sure, either way basically, and then I've got yes, I would recommend these items. And I'm so pleased to say that the majority of the items that I have brought into my collection this year are in the yes, I would absolutely recommend, which means that I just have a collection that I really love. Like almost all the new stuff that I've got this year, I actually really, really love. And I'm so excited about that because I definitely stopped buying about 6 months ago. I was, been very, very conscious about like money spending and just what I'm bringing into my collection recently. And it kind of shows because I have some really nice, yummy, juicy items in my collection that I really enjoy. Either some of them are expensive, some of them are super, super cheap or affordable. And so, I'm not a snob. Like if it works, it works. All right, so I'm gonna go through them in their different sections. I'm gonna start with the ones that I would not recommend. Obviously, if you like this item or if you still wanna try it, go ahead. But just based on the experience that I've had with the item, it's just not something that I would recommend. I mean, not at this point. Okay, so the first one is actually gonna be my Catrice Soft Glam Filter Fluid. I do have the sticks, which I will talk about. This is something that I picked up around springtime, and I bought a bunch of stuff from Catrice and Essence at the time. I was looking back at all of my beauty bank videos recently and looking at all of the hair changes that has happened this year. You guys, I have had orange hair, I've had like very graying hair, brown hair, then I went more blonde, and then I lost all my hair, and obviously I've got now the dark hair. I've just like had it all. Yeah, I don't know what next year's hair is gonna look like. Hopefully just thicker, fuller, longer. That's what we're going for. We're gonna have more grays because I'm just gonna not dye it anymore. I mean, can't see the grays with it growing out. But yeah, I started the year off and I was like, whoa, yeah, I was very orange. I remember that. I think I blocked that out of my memory. But anyway, I've tried this a few times for sure. And I think the thing that bothers me the most about this is the scent. I don't think it has a very nice, pleasant scent. And maybe it's not even supposed to have a scent. Maybe I just have one that's a little bit old, but I've never spoken about that, and I just feel like it has a little bit of a scent. So I don't know if mine has gone off. I think it's fine, but I've tried so many of these that I don't know if it's better than this one over here. I think this is fine. I think it's affordable too, and if you want to try it, I think the idea of these products are really nice, and that's why I keep buying them. But for me personally, I think this is probably not the best one out there, and I feel like you can get probably cheaper ones out there that do the thing. So yeah, I don't think I would recommend that one. Another one that I really am struggling to figure out is this Revolution Hydro Cool Baking Powder. I keep asking and no one is responding to me, but guys, what do I do with this? It is very cooling under the eyes. It's definitely water-based. It's very odd. And I don't know what I'm doing with this. Like how do I use this? What is the point of it? This might be decluttered at some point, because I don't know what this does other than just have a cooling effect. I think it makes my eyes look okay or my skin look okay, but I don't know. It would be nice to know what it is all about before I make my decision. But for now, I don't think I would recommend it unless you want to just experiment a little bit, or maybe you know what to do with it. But for me personally, I would not recommend that. Another thing that I would not recommend is this. This is the Essence Juicy Melon Tinted Lip and Cheek Balm. This is one when I was buying a lot of stuff, and this is just a really sticky mess. It's very sticky. I haven't used it on my lips, I just tried it on the cheeks. I think in the summertime when you're not wearing a lot of foundation or like base products, I think this is fine to like pop on the cheeks, but it doesn't have that much pigment. There's a little bit of pigment there. I think for me as just a product, it just seems to be more of a gimmicky product more than anything else. It doesn't seem to have much use in my collection. So for me personally, I would not recommend this, but maybe for somebody else, they might find use in it as well. It's just obviously this is all my preference. And then lastly, see there's only 4 items here I would not like absolutely not recommend. I think the last one here is a little disappointing. This is the Makeup Revolution Eternal Icon. So I tried the Muse one, which I'll speak about, and then I picked up 2 more. Was it 2 or more? I think I picked up 2 more. And this is one of the ones that I picked up, the Eternal one, which is really pretty. Like, I really like this color story, and this is the original one that I really wanted to try when they first started releasing these little small palettes. But for me, the most disappointing thing about this is the quality. It does not have the same quality as the other Icon palettes that I've tried so far, and that was really disappointing. They seem really dry, really stiff, these shimmers. The mattes are fine. I love the color story, but I think overall, would I recommend this? No. Because I think the whole thing about the Icon palettes was that the formula was better than, you know, a typical Makeup Revolution palette, but this one is very Makeup Revolutionary. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's very much up their alley and not really special enough to like go out and buy it, unfortunately. So that one I would not recommend. All right, I'm just gonna quickly go through the items that I'm kind of testing and I'm not really sure either way. Either I haven't used them enough or I've used them a bunch, but I still am not entirely sure. So it's not that I don't like them, but I don't know what to say about them. Okay, so let's get into it. I'll go with these 2 first. I have 2 concealers here. I have the Essence Skin Loving Sensitive Concealer. I think this one I'm leaning more towards I do not recommend it because I do feel like it's a little thick. And not every time I use it, but sometimes I use it and I look at my under eyes and I think, whoa, they look bad. So it's definitely leaning more towards I don't recommend this, but I also still kind of feel like I'm not entirely sure. So this one, we can say, yeah, maybe don't recommend it. This is one where I'm leaning more towards it's okay, and it's the Makeup Revolution Skin Silk Concealer. So when I first got this, I was disappointed and I don't think I liked it, but I've been using this a lot more. And I'm veering more towards that I do like it. Now, I think initially, I don't know what I was expecting from this product, but I definitely did feel disappointed in it. It has obviously the special wand where like it's like a cooling, like a metal sort of applicator there. So it's really nice feeling on your under eyes. I think in general, you don't get that much product in the application. So that was a little confusing at first as to like, well, you know, how much do I put on? And I still don't really like that about it. But then also it has that metal applicator. So how do you put more on there? So that's just more of like a finicky thing for me. I think the actual product itself is thin enough that I like it so that it doesn't look terrible under my eyes. So that's kind of how I'm judging concealer at this point. I don't spot concealer or anything really like that. It's mostly just to brighten my under eyes and hopefully try to not look 80 years old. So, you know, sometimes it makes me feel really bad, but I feel like I've actually liked this way more than I first got it. So this is like one of those where you have to give it some time, and I definitely changed my mind about it. But it's still kind of in the, well, I'm not sure if I should recommend it to you. So maybe it's more like an okay product, you know, because it could go either way for somebody. So yeah, actually maybe it's probably in the wrong category. Okay, next up, I have tried all of these and I like them, but I've only, like some of them I've only tried once. So I don't really feel like I can judge them, but just based on what I did try, I thought they were fine. And this is the What's Up Beauty lip collection that they sent over to me. Like I feel bad putting them here, but I'm also not recommending them. I just haven't used them enough. So they just sent this to me in September. It's the Sophisticote collection. So we've got Caramel Veil, Lilac Lullaby, and Timeless Love over here. I think Lilac Lullaby, I think I've used twice. And I think, oh, it's the one of these ones. Over here I have Cashmere Muse and Subtle Chic. Cashmere Muse I've used definitely 2 or 3 times. I do like that shade, but overall I don't feel like I can say, oh yeah, buy the whole collection, or buy one of them. If you're gonna buy one of them, get the Cashmere Muse one, because that's the one I've tried the most and I do like it. I do like it. I like liquid lipsticks. I know a lot of people don't really like them, but I really like liquid lipsticks. I'm wearing one today. I just think they're so easy to wear, and especially given that they've been improved so much over the last 10 years versus how they used to be. They're just so much nicer to wear. They're so soft now and buttery and weightless. They used to be super thick on the lips. They don't really do that anymore. You can still find some bad ones, but I think these are decent, and I really like the color range on them. So obviously I'm leaning more towards recommending it, but I haven't tried them enough to really put them in that category, so I didn't do that. And then I also received the Sophisti Balm as well, which I was using incorrectly. So I've seen a bunch of promo videos now where you put the liquid lipstick on and then you put the balm over and it makes it kind of glossy. So I think I might try that. Because I thought this was, I mean, this says it's a lip balm and a lip mask, but I have seen people put this over the top of some of the other shades. So I might try that. But yeah, I haven't done nearly enough trying out for that collection. So that's why it's like I'm still testing it out, I'm still figuring it out. And then I do have one other item in this little section here, and it is one of the other Makeup Revolution icons. This is the Enchanted icon, and I've only used 2 shades in this palette, so it's really impossible for me to judge it. It's just these 2 over here. I have just rolled it into my No Pan Left Behind, so if you saw that video yesterday that I posted, then you know that I'm going to get a lot more acquainted with this palette very soon. So maybe I will really like it, or maybe it'll be just fine. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, this one I can't really judge because I've only just used the 2 shades. Okay, let's go to the items that I think are okay. I think they're fine. If you want to get them, that's absolutely fine. I don't dislike them at all, but I don't know if I would necessarily like recommend them, but I think they're fine. I get a lot of lip items this year. Let's just go through the lip products so far. Yeah, oh, there's 2 more over here. Oh my gosh, okay, I have a problem. I think it's from years of not buying lip products, and then suddenly I realized, no, I want to buy them. So I just bought those this year, it seems. Okay, so the first one I have is this. This is the Catrice Spring Awakening Lip Perfector. It's one of these clicky pens that a lot of people like to do now. I think this is fine. I think if you're going for this kind of shade, it's fine too. If I had a different shade, maybe I would have a better opinion. I do like the formula though. That's why I'm like, it's fine. It's not a favorite of mine, but it's fine because the formula is really nice. And I don't know, I'm just not really into these peachy tones recently. I used to wear them a lot more, and I'm not really into them as much, but also it's winter, so maybe I'm thinking I'm not into them, and then spring, summer will come along and I'll be into them again. So I don't know. I'm also going to put the Gloss Gods lip oil here. This is the Thirst Trap shade. This one came with their skincare collection. I got the whole skincare collection, and obviously I put this with my makeup products. This is nice, but it's kind of the same thing. If you really want this bright pink peachy shade, then it's great. For me right now, it's not something that I want to wear, so I'm going to be like, it's okay. Because I don't want you to go out and like run and buy this right now, because I don't think you need to. But I do think it's a nice formula, and it's the thing I like about their lip oils is they're not super sheer. So I do have another one, and that one is the same thing where it's like, hold on, let me get it. So I have this one. This one's called Smitten, and you can see it's like a super nude one, and you would think that it would come on pretty sheer, but actually there is a little bit, there's like pigment to these, and I do like that. They are a lot more pigmented than I expect from a lip oil. I think I'm just like thinking of like the typical, maybe like the ColourPop lip oils that, you know, we used to always get. Even this one, it is more sheer, obviously, because of the color, but I feel like there's way more pigment than I would expect. So you can actually build it up and it's not too bad. It's not too sticky. It's not as sticky as a lip gloss, which I appreciate because I'm not a huge fan of the way lip gloss feels. So yeah, I do like those. But yeah, the new one obviously that I got is this shade, and I think it's fine. Okay, next up, this kind of hurts me and pains me to say, but I think this YSL is just fine. I do, in a sense, love it because it is what it is, but I spent a lot of money on this, and I think the product inside is just okay. So this is the Love Shine Candy, and again, it's like one of these, like this one you twist up. Mine looks kind of gross, but I've been using it and I do like it. I really do like it, but I think at the end of the day, you can get something just like this for a fraction of the price. So that's why I'm not gonna put it in, well, yeah, you should absolutely go buy this, because I don't think you need that one. You know, I have it for the luxury of having it, obviously, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. I don't think I would recommend it, but it is pretty. Okay, moving on, we have two from Essence. I've got two of these Slim Sticks. I do like them, but I'm not there, you know, I'm looking at everything else that I got this year, and I do think that this is just, they're okay. So these are the 6 Hour Long Lasting Lipsticks. They're almost like liquid lipsticks, but they're in lipstick form. Like they actually do really last on your lips. They don't stain the lips too badly, but they do, like, you know, you should use a makeup wipe, or like makeup removal to remove it. So I've got a nice spice and Baby Got Blush. And so I have a red and a pink. I think they're very good for the price as well, but I think they're just okay. And then I have a Kiko Milano lip oil. For the price of this, I probably wouldn't recommend it, but I do like this. So this is the Dreamphoria 3D Hydra Lip Oil, and it was one of their limited editions. I don't even know if you can still get this. It might still be in stock. I think they had a pink one too, but I bought this in store and they didn't have the pink one available. Yeah, maybe actually I should put this in not recommended, because based on the price, I just don't know. But I do like the item. No, I think it should stay here. It's fine. It's obviously a very sheer lip oil, but it's fine. And then I'm gonna put my Maybelline Lifter Plump here. I do like this, but I can't go around and tell you to get it and recommend it. The product itself is really nice, but obviously it is very painful. It's obviously one of these plumping lip ones, and it just stings your lips for like a good hour. So if you want to go through that, my lips did feel a little bit more plump. I think they looked a little bit more plump, but that's because they literally were stinging for a whole hour before it kind of calmed down. But yeah, it's got it says Maxi Lip Chili Pepper Piment Chili. Oh, I think that's just the translation. But yeah. And this is the shade Pink Sting. So I do like it. I just don't think I can recommend it to anybody. Okay, next up, more items that I think are just okay. The Essence So Cherry Primer. This is the So Cherry Happy Face Primer. I think this is just okay. There's nothing to say about it. It's more of a serum-y primer. I do like serum-y primers, but I think it's just fine. I've also tried the Makeup Revolution Hydra Base Cream to Water Hydrating Primer. I think this one is just fine too. What I will say is I wish, you know, it was a little bit bigger because I'm already hitting the pan. There really isn't that much in here. 25 ml. Yeah, it's a pretty small package, pretty small packaging to be fair. But I think it's fine, and yeah, it's okay. I also tried the Makeup Revolution bronzing drops this year. I think these are fine if you want to bronze up your foundation or just put it directly on your skin. I think it's fine. Then I have the NYX Buttermilk bronzer here. So the reason I'm not recommending this one is I do think it's very, very pigmented. I like it and I love the smell, and it's a good color, and I think the product itself is nice and affordable, and for what you get, for what you pay, I think it's pretty decent. But it is a little finicky because it is so pigmented, so you can really put too much on if you're not careful, which I have done many times. Then I also have an Essence foundation stick here. This one I think is fine, but it can be a bit drying. So that's why I haven't put it in like, I love it, you should get it. I think for a foundation stick, it's fine. I haven't really tried that many foundation sticks, so I don't know if they're all like this, but I'm not surprised it's a bit drying. And also the one that I have is very, very pale, so I probably have the wrong one. I have an eyeshadow palette here. This is from Easy Paris Cosmetics. It's the Bright and Matte eyeshadow. I mean, I can't really like recommend this to anyone because I don't think anyone can even buy it unless you like live where I live. But I think this is like a C Beauty brand. Although it says it's made in Spain, so I don't really know. It's nice, and actually the two shimmers are quite nice, but it's just a quad. Like, how can I recommend this to anyone? But I think the quality is quite nice. I also have the Gloss Gods loose pigment sort of glitter here. This came free with purchase. It's called Starlight, and I think this is fine. I mean, I didn't buy it myself, so you know, it's not something that I personally, you know, kind of collect in my collection, but if you want to try their pigment, I think it's pretty. I have tried it and I think it's fine. And then I also have the Technic Vit C Translucent Finishing Powder. This one's fine too. Like, these are all just like fine. They're okay. I mean, I have no like there's a good and bad to them. And I think they're just fine. This one, I don't know why I don't love it. I definitely don't hate it though. There are obviously powders that I've tried that I just hate. So I'm leaning more towards I do like that one. I like that it's very thin. That's the thing that I like the most about it. And then I have some eyeshadow palettes here. So I have the Lovers from Cosmic Beauty. This probably won't come as a surprise. I think for me personally, I love their formula, I really do, and that's why I keep buying from them, although I haven't bought their new releases. I just think there's something about this color story that bores me, and it's funny because as soon as they released this and I saw it, I was like, oh, I love that color story, I want to get it. And now that I've had the palette, I have found the color story to be very bland and boring. It is obviously more of a muted pastel-y kind of spring-like color story, and that's when they released it right at the beginning of spring. I think what throws me off is the teals. I've realized I don't like teals on my eyes. I think some people can pull it off, and I think maybe because I have brown eyes, I don't know, there's just something about it where I don't like how it looks on my eyes. So when I look at this palette, there is a good chunk of it that I don't even want to use, which is kind of a shame, but it's something that I'm learning. And now moving forward, I'm really trying to look at palettes and be like, well, hang on a minute. There's like 3 teals in there. No, I don't want it. It's actually helping me. I'm really figuring out what I like and what I don't like. You would have thought that it wouldn't take so long. Like, I've been doing this for a long time. Why would it have to take years for me to figure that out? But I also think my I don't know, my preference is changing. But having said that, I really like these kind of greens up here. And the mint is fine, and this blue is fine. I think it's this one. But then also, there's just kind of a lot of green. I don't know. I think it could have been a smaller palette and it would have been fine. And then why do we need a black? I don't know. I think it's fine, but it's not something that I would recommend. And then also, I'm going to put the Call of the Sirens here from Gourmand Girls. Now, this is another one where I saw it and I immediately said to my, oops, something's gonna drop. I immediately said to myself, I'm going to buy that. And I did. And then I realized, hang on a minute, there's like so many dark shades in there. There are teals in there. We have loads of teals and this like really dark green and dark purples. And then you have orange. And I was just thinking to myself, why did I get this palette? It is not a color story that usually speaks to me. However, the quality in here is really, really beautiful. I really, really appreciate the quality. I think Gourmand Girls has a very, very unique quality. And like their mattes are very buttery. I can't explain it other than it just feels like you're going into butter. It's just, they're not very powdery at all. There's like hardly any kick up, which is but there is pigment to them. And then the shimmers are gorgeous. But I think overall just the color story in this one it throws me off, and I keep going back into it because there are some really special and beautiful and unique shades. But it's not something that I love that I tried this year, unfortunately. I just realized I have this one that I didn't speak about. This is the Technic Vitamin C Brightening Boost. I think I bought this year. I think it's when I bought all my Techniques, but I put this in my skincare because I thought it was a serum, and then I tried to use it, and it's actually a highlighter. It's like a liquid highlighter. So yeah, that didn't really work when I was doing my skincare. So this one is fine. I just don't, it's not a product that I would have bought had I known exactly what it was. But I think it's fine. So yeah, I forgot about that one. And then I have one other item in this section, and then we'll move on to all the ones that I loved this year. So next up, we've got Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. This is a birthday present from me that I got in September. Now, I haven't actually used this too much, so it really could also be in the section where, you know, I haven't had enough time to get my thoughts together. I would say, though, there are some shades in here where I kind of struggled to get some pigment. There are some really pretty shades, and I really like how this is very neutral, and it kind of leans more towards a cool tone color story. I feel like a lot of her palettes have been very warm recently, and this one is not. This is much more cooler, so I really appreciate that. But there were some shades, I think it was the mattes. Was it a shimmer? It was one or two where I kind of struggled to get pigment, and I think it was the lighter shades. So I did kind of notice that, and that was a shame. But anyway, I just wanted to put that there. So I do like it overall, and I want to try it more because obviously I haven't tried too much of it, but it's not going in the I would recommend. Because I haven't had the time, and also just because I kind of noticed those two things. So I kind of need to test it out a little bit more. Okay, so I did buy a lot of Essence and Catrice at some point, like I mentioned. And so I did end up getting a bunch of their liquid blushes, and I got this liquid highlighter as well. I couldn't tell you which one I prefer out of all these, but I really enjoy them. I find that the blush are very easy to use. They're pigmented enough, but you can kind of shear them out a little bit, and they don't dry down super fast, so you don't have to work super fast. Although, I don't know, I mean, having said that, maybe I just put my makeup on fast. But I never had any issues with patchiness with these, which I really appreciate, and I think the colors are really pretty. So I really have enjoyed those. And the highlighter, you can see I've also really enjoyed the highlighter. I did, however, have to take the little stuff off because it got really dry, I noticed, because I tried to use this a few weeks ago, and so I had to take all that off because I wasn't getting any product out. So I don't know if anyone else has had issues with the product getting stuck in the little poofies, because obviously it's supposed to look like this, right? I haven't noticed it happening with the blush. Hopefully it doesn't. But yeah, that's the only thing I've noticed. But I like all of those, so I would definitely recommend them if you haven't tried them, and they're very affordable. I also tried the lip liners from Essence this year, which I didn't realize it was just this year that I just tried to get them. So the first one I got was Run, Don't Walk, or is it Because It's Iconic? It was one of these two, one of the beige ones, and then I ended up buying 3 more. So now I have 2 sort of brownie nude ones. I have a darker brown one, which I really enjoy, and I have a red. I think I might want to get like a pink one, pinky nude one. I think that would complete my collection of lip liners. But I love these, and as soon as I'm done with them, I'm sure I will buy it again, because they're pretty much the only ones that I use, and I really like how creamy they are, and obviously they are super affordable. So yeah, I love these. They're the Essence 8-Hour Matte Comfort Lip Liners. I did get a really nice package from What's Up Beauty recently. They sent me all of their Cheeque Terre blush and bronzers, which was really sweet. I have 4 of the blush. I have 3 of the bronzers. They didn't send me the darkest bronzer because it would be useless. I think all of these are really nice. I think the ones that I have enjoyed the most out of the blush so far, I mean, not only is the packaging really nice, I think they do really nice packaging, but the Relaxed Roma shade, if I can open it, I think has definitely been my favorite. I actually have one of them on today. I've got the Peaceful Pisa on today, which is a much lighter icy pink one. So that one I have on today. But yeah, I really, really like these. And then they also have this one, which is Serene Sienna, which obviously is more of a peach. And I just think it's very, very pretty. You know, they remind me of kind of like Kiko Milano. You know, Kiko Milano always comes out with these like really cute little packaging, and then they have the marble effect too. So they definitely remind me of Kiko Milano a little bit. This one is the Gentle Genova. So I have that whole collection and definitely recommend them. And then out of the bronzers, I've tried the medium and the light. I do have a tan one that I haven't been tan enough to try because I just got them in September. Maybe this next year, who knows? But out of the medium and the light, the medium worked really nicely when I did have a little bit more of a tan. It's really interesting though, because they also have purple in there. I find it really cool. And then the light one is perfect for me now. I think that it's light enough, but it still adds some pigment because I am quite pale and ghostly over the winter. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with these, and I would absolutely recommend them. Obviously, you don't need to get the whole collection. Just get the shade or shades that will work for you. But I think they did a really good job with those, and I'm very thankful for them. I've got the Maybelline Lumi Matte Foundation here, and I do like this. I do. It's something that I feel like I haven't tested enough, but every time I use it, I do like it. So this one, I know when I first got it, I was like, yes, I recommend it, and I still recommend it. It might not work for everyone because obviously I am somebody that has combination skin. I would say for the majority of the year, I have an oily T-zone, but otherwise it's fine. I do get a dry forehead though, and then obviously in the winter I get a lot more dry in the forehead area, but not necessarily my T-zone. My T-zone still stays pretty oily and dryly and hydrated. So I don't have super, super dry skin, so I don't know how this is going to work for somebody with super, super dry skin. I also don't have super, super oily skin either, so who knows? But I have enjoyed that one because it's a Lumi matte, so it's, you know, luminous. It's not a full matte foundation. I've realized I don't like fully matte foundations. That's why I like a lot of the filter, you know, like either the primer filters that have a little bit of a tint, or like tinted foundations and things like that because they're more serum-y. Anyway, moving on, we've got two of the Catrice Soft Glam Filter Sticks. So I spoke about the fluid one, but these are the sticks. I really like this. I have two of them because I got the light one thinking that this would just be a good primer, and it is. I really like it. It doesn't add barely any pigment. Actually, now it might add some pigment, but when I first got this, it didn't add hardly any. That's how much I've used so far. I've liked it so much. That's the light one. And then the medium one, the light medium one, I think is beautiful. And this one I have actually used it more as a bronzer, and that's how much I've used of that one. So I've really enjoyed these. I've used them quite a lot. And yeah, I would absolutely recommend them. I think they're really, really good. And, you know, they have a decent, I wouldn't actually, they probably don't have a good shade range. I don't really know, to be fair. Maybe like 4 or 5 shades, which is probably not the best, but they're also like a filter stick, and they're actually really hydrating too. And then I have the NYX Buttermilk Glaze. So this one I really, really like. If I didn't have so much foundation, I would probably be using this all the time. I can see myself buying this again. I do think this is really, really good, and I have never had any issues when I put this on my skin. I think it's like the perfect shade match for me too. I have the shade Vanilla Bean Butter, which is number 2. Feels very empty. I feel like, how much do you get in here? 30 ml? It feels so empty. Although this one is in the glass one. This is 35 ml from the Maybelline. Yeah. This feels really empty. It's a soft glow skin tint, and I love it. I think it's really good. All right, moving on. We've got more miscellaneous sort of, I'm not doing this in any particular order either, as you can gather. I've got the Catrice Blushing Charm Multi-Stick. This is so nice. I know I have mentioned this before on my channel as like one of my like monthly favorites. It is so pretty, this. I really, really love it. Obviously you don't put it on like that, but you can like sheer it out. I think it leaves like such a pretty finish. Like, look at that. It's so pretty, and then you don't really need to put highlighter on because you're already like a little bit glowy. Obviously this is something that I would want to use more in the spring, summertime, but yeah, really, really enjoyed this. And the shade that I have for this is Sparkle Lover. I really love it. I mean, if they had any more shades, which they probably do, I would absolutely want to get them because I think the quality is really nice. I also tried the Technic Vitamin C Under Eye Brightener this year, and I really, really enjoyed it. I actually have it on today, something that I continue to use in my Shop My Stash. And I think their vitamin C range was pretty good, actually, pretty good. And then I also tried the Makeup Revolution. What are these called? This is the Shimmer Peach Sorbet Nude, but this actual, like, this is like a, oh, there it is, a gloss stick. Yeah, it's the Makeup Revolution gloss stick, which are pretty new for this year. And yeah, I got the peachy one, which is very, very peachy. This is actually pretty pigmented. I definitely would be open to trying other ones because it is very glossy, but it also kind of feels like a lipstick as well. It's just like a glossy, very glossy lipstick. It doesn't feel like a lip gloss, which I like. And very pigmented as well, which is really good. I finally found my Makeup Factory lipstick. I thought I lost this for ages, but it was in the wrong section of my makeup. I was looking through all my bags. I was like, where is that lipstick? I can't find it. And I feel like it's been missing for like 4 months or so, and it was actually in my drawer the whole time. I just didn't see it, so oopsie. This is from Makeup Factory, and it is my shimmer lipstick. That's what I call it. I don't actually know what it's called, and it doesn't have the shade name, but I love this, and I'm going to be using it now that I found it. I love how shimmery it is. I know these are very like Y2K, but I don't care. I don't care. I love it. So that one I would absolutely recommend. I think Makeup Factory is pretty cool. And if you have it in your, if you have it locally, I would definitely recommend it. It's definitely a brand that I have enjoyed trying. And then I also tried another shade from the Essence Tinted Tinted Kiss range. This is the Hydrating Lip Tint, and this is the shade Coral Colada. I do have a peach one, but obviously this one is pink, and it looks like that. Really, really nice. All right, let's keep moving. I also tried the Makeup Revolution Air Blur Soft Matte Liquid Lip as well this year. This is one where I absolutely want to try multiple shades of when I get around to it, if I ever do. The shade that I have is called Siren. It's like kind of similar to this, maybe a little bit lighter than the one I have right now. And it's just a really nice nude shade. I also tried the Maybelline Glaze. This is the Lifter Glaze in Latte Crush, and I really enjoy this one. And this is another one where I would want to try multiple shades. This is more brown, and I don't have that many browns, and so this actually is really helpful to have in my collection, but because I like the formula so much, I definitely want to try it more. And then I also tried a Makeup Revolution lipstick. This is the Lover Nude, and it's just like this lipstick. I don't actually know if this has a particular name. I can't see it written anywhere, but this is very creamy. I really, really enjoy how creamy this is. It kind of is like a beigey nude, which I really like. So very, very creamy formula. And then I loved these. Again, from Maybelline. These are the Sun Kisser liquid blushes. I have 3 of them. I don't know which is better, honestly, out of these 3, but I tried them this year and I fell in love. I fell in love. So I have Soul Search and City Sizzle, and then Shades On. I think Shades On from memory is my favorite. Obviously you sheer it out. They sheer out really pretty on the skin too. They're very, very easy to put on. I was worried these were going to be quite scary to use, especially this one, which looks very pigmented. but it looks so pretty on the skin. And then you've got Soul Search here. Maybe it's Soul Search that I like the most. Yeah, Soul Search has a little bit more of a gold. Yeah, I think it's this one that I like the most, which is almost like a highlighter. But they're all blush, or supposedly blushes, but they end up being really shimmery and really pretty on the skin. Obviously, yeah, like I say, don't put them like that on your skin. You need to sheer them out, but I loved these this year, and I can't wait to use them again this spring, summer. Not that I wear that much makeup in the summer, but maybe in the spring I will get into it. All right, moving on, we have some blush here. I've got another Makeup Revolution. This is the Pink Party Blush. I think this is amazing. I think this is so pretty. I think this looks gorgeous, gorgeous on the skin. And maybe I'm just into shimmery blushes again. I went off of them and now I'm into them again. But there's something about this that looks so pretty. Look at that. That just looks, and it looks effortless on the skin, almost. Not super pigmented, but you can make it look so gorgeous. And then I also tried the NYX Buttermelt. This is the shade My Butter Half. It's this really light pink shade. Bright light pink. I said light, bright pink shade. And it's so much fun. I really, really enjoy this one. This, like the bronzer, is pigmented, but I feel like this is not so pigmented that I make a mistake. I don't know, I haven't had issues with this one like I have with the bronzer. So that's why I would absolutely recommend this. I also tried the Essence So Cherry Happy Blush Lighter, although I think personally it's more just a blush. I think not only is it super, super cute, but actually is a really, really nice blush, has really nice pigment, and I really don't think it's shimmery at all. I feel like it's way more matte than anything else. So I don't know why it's called a blush lighter. I wouldn't be put off by that if you don't like those type of products. For me, it's more just like a matte blush, which I think is really pretty. And then this one is more new to me. I did end up getting the Dior Backstage Glow Maximizer. Now initially, I still feel this way. I don't feel like you have to spend the money to get this product. You can get this product elsewhere in cheaper items. But I have to say, I've been using this. It's in my shop, my stash, and I have been loving it. I have been loving it. You can see I've been rubbing off the embossment already because I've gone into all the shades. I have really, really loved this. I think it looks so beautiful and it blends really nicely into the skin. So as much as it pains me to say, I do think this is really nice. I do. It's just very expensive. Okay, talking about expensive items that I love, I also have this Dior one. This is the Glow Luminizer. Now, I've said this multiple times, you do not need to buy this. You can buy something else that is going to give you the same effect. But I mean, look at this. I love it. I love it, and I would recommend it if you have the money to do so. If you are gifted this and you don't like it, please send it my way because I think this is so pretty. And it not only is it just pretty to look at and to have, but actually on the skin, it just looks effortless. It doesn't look like makeup on the skin. It just looks very, very pretty. Like, you know how makeup can look like makeup on the skin, and if you're going for that look, that's absolutely fine. This looks effortless and it blends really pretty in the skin. It's very, very subtle, and I do really appreciate that. Like the Dior Glow Minimizer, that's less subtle for sure, but it looks very pretty on the skin. And then I've also really liked this one too. So this one is Givenchy, and it's the Prisme Libre 4-color loose powder. This is the shade 3. So it's more of the pinky one. It's hard to show you. I know they have like a violet one, like a very cool tone violet one. This is more of the rose and beige and just lighter one. But I've been really, really enjoying this. I think it actually makes you can see it's getting all dirty because I've been enjoying it so much. It makes my skin look really nice, this. So as much as it pains me to say, this is actually really, really nice. Thankfully, I did not buy that, but if I ever finish it, which I don't know, probably will never happen. Well, if it happens, it'll be a while. Then I'll have to buy it again, which is so annoying. Okay, then we have eyeshadow palettes. So this is in no particular order, but these are eyeshadow palettes that I tried this year that I would recommend. So the first one here is the Makeup Revolution Muse Icon. So this is the one that started it all. For me personally, I tried this and I was like, oh, let me try the other ones. And I do think the quality in this is better than most other Makeup Revolution palettes that are non-icon palettes, if that makes sense. I just think the shimmers in here are quite surprisingly good. So yeah, I would recommend it, honestly, if you want to try it. Another Makeup Revolution one that I tried this year is the Astro Nova. I'm just checking the name. And I really like this. I like the color story in this one. I think this is the type of quality that you would expect from Makeup Revolution. It's a little bit nicer than some other Makeup Revolution qualities, but then also you get some like drier shades. Like this one's a little bit drier for a shimmer. And then, you know, obviously they don't have like super special shimmers in here, but I really like the colors and I think they actually perform really decently well. So I would recommend it too. Again, if you are looking to buy a Makeup Revolution palette and you like that color story, I think it's a good one. This one I got free with purchase, but I'm actually really happy that I got it. This is the Gloss Gods Let's Pop, and obviously it's the green version. I do have the orange one, and I don't like it, but this one is good. All the shades are gorgeous, as you would expect. I mean, at least from the shimmers, you would expect them to be beautiful, but the mattes actually are really nice. There's only 2 mattes, but they actually perform really great. And there's no teal in sight, at least for me. I don't consider any of these teal. And so these are the type of greens that I really appreciate and like. And yeah, I've gone to this a few times and I really enjoy it. So I'm really happy that that's in my collection. And if you want to try one of their Let's Pop palettes, I would recommend at least this one, because it's, out of the 2 that I have, it's the best one. So then I also really, really like this palette, and I got this earlier this year. This is the Neutrals from Cosmic Beauty. I think upon receiving this, and initially I was struck with it not being the type of palette that I thought it was going to be. It's very much more warm tone than I expected it to be. And so I think in my initial review, or like first impressions, I was like, this is a very warm tone. And I was a little bit more lukewarm about the palette. But since then, I've really, really enjoyed this palette. I actually really love how warm tone it is. And it's okay if you are not into warm tones at the moment, or you don't want to go into a warm tone palette, don't go into this palette. But if you want to buy a palette and occasionally you are into warm tones, I think this is absolutely stunning. It's got some really interesting shades. I think there's a lot of versatility in here as well. And yeah, I think the quality is outstanding. So this one I would recommend if you haven't tried it. I mean, I would recommend Cosmic Beauty to anyone, but that's a really nice palette that obviously I've tried this year. I also have tried the Nearly Natural from Glaminatrix. This is another one where I was initially disappointed because it didn't live up to the expectations that I had of the original Nearly Natural palette that obviously they discontinued. And then this was their re-release of it with additional shades and completely different packaging and layout. And I think I was just feeling sad that it didn't live up to my expectations. But as a palette overall, I do think it's a really good palette. And I think the quality of all of these shades are really pretty. And I think, again, if you're going for a nude palette, this is kind of perfect. I will say, though, there is like a little bit of I do think that, you know, there's a little part of the palette that I wish was a little different, which would be this little quad right here. But having said that, it's fine. And I do recommend it because I do think the quality is really nice. This also could just be in the It's Okay category as well, because it is just okay. You know, it's not like outstanding. So it could have been in that category as well. I'm just going to throw that out there. Oh my gosh, please don't fall. I hope things don't fall. All right, I got 2. Oh gosh. Oh yeah, oh, this is not a palette. Oh, but anyway, I'll talk about it. I forgot about this one. So this is from Gourmand Girls. This is the Mermaid Magic base palette. So this came if you bought the bundle, this came with the Call of the Sirens palette, but they also released it separately as well, so you could buy this without that one. I obviously bought them both because I'm extra, or at least I was extra. I'm very, very happy that I have this one, and obviously I feel like the eyeshadow palette has its pros and cons, so I was like, it's okay, but the color story's not all there for me. I love this. I love this. I know that, you know, these ones up here are supposed to be highlighters, or like, obviously you can put them on your eyes as well, or like inner corner highlights and things like that, and these are blush, and I think this is really, really fun, and I really like that I have it in my collection. I think all the shades are beautiful. Obviously these two, I wouldn't recommend putting them on the face. You can kind of get away with it with this one, but otherwise I would either put those on the eyes or like inner corner. But the blush are really, really nice. So as a whole, in terms of a face palette, I think it's unique and special. And so yeah, I would recommend it. Okay, so we only have one eyeshadow palette left, which actually is my Singe Beauty Galactic Visitor. So I did technically buy this in November of last year, but I only received it in January of this year, so I can rate it for this video. So yeah, this one I really, really, really enjoyed. I thought it was such a good release, and I really like the color story. Obviously, I have a pan in it. It was rolled into a project, and I really, really enjoyed it. I've done a bunch of videos with this palette. I think I did 3 looks. And yeah, I really like it. It is kind of more, I would say this is like a neutral palette, but you also have the blues in there, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think this is actually quite a subdued color story. For somebody who loves color like Angelica does, this is actually a little surprising that it is more subdued. It's colorful, but it's not super, super colorful. But I think it was a really smart palette, and I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, if you have not tried Singe Beauty, I think the quality is really good. And this is the only one that I have so far. I haven't been interested in buying the other ones. I'm just waiting for a cool tone one. As soon as she releases a cool tone palette, which maybe she won't because she's not into cool tones, I'm hoping she has one that has a little bit of a twist to it. As soon as she does that, I will be on my way. Or if she just does something completely different, I'll be like, oh yeah. But yeah, my gosh, I feel like I've been talking for almost an hour. I will try to cut down this video as much as I can, but that's all the makeup that I bought this year, right? Yes, that's crazy. I either bought it or received it as a gift or was sent it. There is one item that I did not speak about that I did end up decluttering, which is a mascara. I did try the Big Lash mascara from Makeup Revolution. I got the brown shade. I did just declutter that, and I hated it. So that's the only thing that obviously I wouldn't recommend, but the only thing that's kind of missing. Everything else is here, and for the majority, I really love all of these. So that makes me so happy. That makes me so happy. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I tried to be as quick as possible, but obviously I probably spoke quite a lot on things. So yeah, I will leave you here. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe and all that lovely stuff if you would like to. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.